Hi, my name is Matthew Brandt from Brandt Scaling, and I wanted to shoot a short video and just talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm in the final process of getting certified as a Scaling Up coach by Vern Harnish and his Scaling Up organization. I don't know if you know Scaling Up or not, but they've worked with 70 or 80,000 companies around the world for the last 30 years. They've produced much more than $500 billion in increased valuation of companies. They have a new BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal of producing another $2 trillion of increased in companies' valuations over the next 20 to 30 years. When I first met Vern in 2014, they were talking about typical results in the area of 2x cash flow, 3x valuation, and 10x, 2x cash flow, 3x profitability against industry averages, and 10x valuations. And that was impressive. Recently, Vern's just come out and said the new standard, the new target is 30x increase in the valuations. So if you've got a company worth X, it's about increasing it 30 times. And that's just mind blowing to me. He actually said that 10x is for wimps. And I almost am in disbelief that I heard that, but I know I did, confirmed it with him. So I've been involved in high performance business building since 1984. I was 23 then. I got introduced to some people. I was a broker, making about $2,000 a month and just getting by with a pregnant wife. And I saw this flyer for a event in San Francisco. I was living in Iowa at the time. Flew out, met this gentleman, Dr. Hemsley, had 2 PhDs, one in behavioral psychology, one in performance psychology. He was a sales manager that got tired of losing his good people. Anyways, he guaranteed a 10x increase in your earnings or your money back kind of thing. The primary course at the time was $10,000, which was a fair amount of money. I did a lesser course. It was, I forget what, I think it was $500 or something. Anyways, I very quickly took that back to our brokerage firm in Iowa, applied it, and exponentially increased my earnings. Went from a couple $1,000s a month to $10,000 to $20,000 in a 2-week pay period. Started training other brokers, and then after about 4 years, I guess, I left the brokerage industry and started doing this with brick and mortar companies. That would have been 1990. I've done that over and over and over. In 2002, I started a company. We built that and we sold that in Taiwan. It was an Inc. 500 fastest growing company. 17th largest sales force in the US. And we had the rights to Taiwan and the first right of refusal to 7 other countries in Asia, including mainland China. And basically, in a very short period of time, we broke every performance record that the parent company had. And they ended up wanting to do an IPO and they bought us out. I moved to mainland China, actually Thailand for a while, thinking I was retired, then to mainland China. I did the AMP program, Advanced Management Program at Wharton. It was a $50,000 program for 5 weeks. I met some very cool people who are still good friends. Manoj Kohli, who I just did a deal with over the last 5 months. Most recently was the country head for SoftBank. Before that, he was the executive chairman for SoftBank Energy. Before that, he was for 20 years the CEO of Bharti Telecom, the 3rd largest telco in the world. I had breakfast with him at Wharton. And by the way, the course was 50 grand. There were 60 people. There were only 2 had written the check themselves. I was one of them. The other was a consultant out of Europe. But Manoj got really excited when we learned about M&A. And he said, I'm going to go back and do this. And I saw him about, I guess, 2 years later. I was working at the time with a bank in Beijing, an investment bank, Wall Street based. I started with 2 bulge bracket bankers and John D. Rockefeller Jr. He was gone by the time I was there, but I was their managing director initially, and then they promoted me to director. But we went to India to see Manoj, and when we walked out the elevator, he gave me this huge hug and said, I did it. I said, man, you did what? I'd forgotten about the conversation of breakfast. And he said, I did the M&A. He said, I did $17 billion worth of M&A in 17 African countries. We went from 200 million customers in India to over 400 million and over 1.2 billion customers in total. Funny thing is, the meeting I was with him and others in November, as I listened to him, I realized he was saying the way he scaled this company was basically Vern's playbook. He'd never been introduced to scaling up at the time, although he and Vern are in touch now through my introduction. But many of the principles he was utilizing. So listen, I don't want to keep this, I don't want it to be too long, but I've had a lifelong passion for building businesses. I've been working with scaling up since 2014, so almost 9 years now, maybe almost 10 years, I guess. I'm about to be certified. I've gone through all the coursework. I'm just doing the final recording a workshop and having that approved, which I know it'll be approved. Don't mean to be arrogant, but I'm just really familiar with the work. Yeah, that's about it. If you're a CEO that wants to scale your company, especially if you're 50 or 60, and maybe your kids don't want to take over the business, that you'd like to grow it 10x, 20x, 30x, even if that sounds like BS, and then do an exit, I would love to talk to you. What else? Yeah. I guess also if you're a private equity fund with a portfolio or a family office with a portfolio, and you really want to step up the profitability of these portfolio companies and the way they click, really make them some of the best companies on the planet, we're totally capable of doing that. This IP, this pathway, this platform has done that over and over, and it's a personal love of mine. Would love to talk to you. My email is Matt, M-A-T-T, at Brandt Scaling, B-R-E-N-D-T, scaling, SCALING.com. Pretty creative name, I know. My direct number, if you want to text me or call, is country code 1 for the US, 530-521-6188. Thanks. I look forward to talking with you and potentially working with you.